Now, you may have seen this, but I got a letter from the EU Commission, like saying, to not have disinformation on during this discussion that we're having. Like,
I saw that.
There's a lot of attempts.
The woke
to
EU
do censorship
doesn't want you using social media companies as platforms for Nazi disinformation.
What do you think about that?
Well, I know
the state of things.
European Union very well. They take great advantage
in the
of
modern
United
woke
States in
world.
trade,
You're not allowed to uncritically rebroadcast neo-Nazi disinformation.
We protect them. I believe, and I think you believe this too. You hear 12 million, 13. I believe it's over 20 million people came into our country. Many coming from jails, from prisons, from mental institutions,
from asylums.
A bigger version of that is insane asylums.
Yeah.
And many are terrorists. And I'll tell you what, they're coming not just from South America, they're coming from Africa, they're coming from all over the world. They're coming from Asia, they're coming from the Middle East, they're coming from countries that are stupidly and horribly bombing Israel October 7th. They're coming from all over the world. They're
coming from Lebanon.
It's so sad.
Lebanon and Syria,
folks.
Never
It's so sad.
Sure.
When
They're
you look
coming
at Ukraine. It should have never happened.
They're bringing their bombs.
We have a defective government.
They're bringing their Islam.
And they're not people that should be running it. But where you see it the best is the border.
It's not a race thing. It's just he only talks about Africa, the Middle East, and Latin America.
Yeah. No,
he literally says it's not a race thing, then mentions every continent but Europe.
And you just have this sort of adverse selection process where, if somebody's, if somebody's like
Elon is such a horrible speaker. He's genuinely low IQ. Like actually,
I don't understand what's taken them so long to get here.
And I saw an ad by Kamala saying how she is going to provide border security. Where has she been for 3.5 years? For 3.5 years.
Yeah, no.
We have 20 million people for it. It's a terrible.
Yeah, I think this.
Again, always a reminder to the people watching that the Democrats actually tried to put forward a bill that would have addressed some border security stuff. It was more far right than I would have liked. And Donald Trump told the Republicans to vote against it, even though they would have supported it if it had been put forward by them, because he wanted it to be a campaign issue he could run on. He wanted the issue not fixed.
Elon, if they get in,
he explicitly said, I want this to stay a problem.
From all over the world. Not South America only. We think of South America.
Wasn't it bipartisan? It was until he told the Republican Party not to vote for it.
Elon, what's happened is unbelievable. You have from Africa, from the Congo, they're coming from the Congo, and 22
it's not a race thing, guys.
From the Congo recently, and
it's not a race thing.
He just they drop them. They take them out of jails, which is very expensive.
From
to maintain
the Congo.
They don't do too much maintaining, I can tell you. But they take them out of jails, prisons. They take them out and they bring them to the United States.
They take them out of the Congo jails.
In the United States
and they fly them over.
You're going to be executed.
First class tickets.
They don't want to come back. But they're coming from Africa. They're coming from Asia. They're coming from the Middle East. They're coming from South America.
Whoa, that's
everywhere. And
that's every continent except for
it's just an everywhere on Earth thing, and it's just not possible for the United States to absorb everyone from Earth or even a few
except for Antarctica.
It's just not possible. If the American president is someone that evil dictators are scared of, that makes a huge difference to the security of the world.
You can't talk about that like Putin. You've been given money by Putin.
Despite the Russia hoax that lasted for over 2 years, just a hoax.
But I mean, I think it's just worth emphasizing to listeners the immense importance of whether the United States president is intimidating or not intimidating.
Elon's feeling very scared right now. He's projecting that.
Because...
And again, I said to Vladimir Putin, I said, don't do it. You can't do it, Vladimir. You do it, it's going to be a bad day. You cannot do it. And I told him things that what I do, and he said, no way. And I said, way. And it's the last time we ever had the conversation. He would never have done. I got along well with him. I hope to get along well with him again. Getting along well with them is a good thing, not a bad thing. I got along well with Kim Jong-un. When I met with President Obama just before entering, it's a sort of a ritual. And
still
I sat
got
down
it.
with him and we talked. It was supposed to be for a very short period of time. It turned out to be a long period of time. I said, what's the biggest problem? He said, North Korea. I had that problem worked out very quickly. It was
I wheeze
nasty at the
laughed at that
beginning
so
with
hard that
Rocket
it hurt the
Man
back of my
and,
throat
all
a
the
little
different
bit.
things.
Yeah,
But
those were some epic tweets, by the way.
yeah, they
Those
were
like,
they were
absolutely...
epic everything. He said that he has a red button on his desk. I said, I have a red button on my desk too, but my red button is much bigger and my red button works. And then I called him Little Rocket Man of Little Rocket Man.
He
Anyway,
deserves to
here's
be
the bottom
bullied
line.
so
All of a sudden, I
badly.
got a call from him. As you remember, we met in Singapore.
Oh God, you're
met
right.
also
He's
in
still calling them
Vietnam.
tweets.
And
Elon's still
I
calling
got
them
along with him great.
tweets.
We were
You know, I mean, people like Kim Jong Un. They respond to strength,
What?
not weakness.
well.
What?
And
He and I got
if you
he and I
project
had a good
strength,
relationship.
you know,
Remember, I met him and we
Remember what I said about fascism
walked onto his
being
land before.
international?
I walked onto
Fascists
his- I
like
wouldn't
other
say-
fascists.
Let's bring up
Cool.
Secret Service
They
again. I wouldn't
only
say they were
dislike
thrilled
the
when I did
other
that. I walked up to
strongmen
his land,
because
and,
they're of different
it
countries. They constantly
amazing
praise
period.
other all the time. The fascist nationalist worldview is that everything is a competition for power. Strong men are all that matters. Democracy is weakness that allows the other strong men to take advantage of your country. Everyone is always competing. It's like this between nations and between races. The white nationalist does not believe that they are the aggressor in racial purification. They think they have to do it because otherwise they're at a weakened position against the deliberate efforts of others.
We have numerous places that could end up in a World War III right now for no reason whatsoever.
I think you're right. I think people underrate the risk of World War III, and it's just when you're looking at the risk of global thermonuclear warfare, it's game over for humanity, and it's something that people have, I think, after the end of the Cold War,
mentally
people have
12,
become
dude.
complacent about.
The threat of global thermonuclear warfare.
There are currently a lot of
people
nuclear
underestimate the threat of global thermonuclear warfare.
That have targeting parameters for the United States from other
100%.
countries.
Hey, and by the way, you think Biden could do this interview? Do you think that
You're not
Kamala could do
running
this interview?
against
They would
him.
take a pass
No,
on you?
they could not. Inflation is caused by government overspending. Would you
No,
agree
it's
that,
not.
that we
Okay.
need to take a look at government spending and have perhaps a government efficiency commission?
For one, no, it's not. For two, he deficit spent like a motherfucker.
I mean, I think it would be great to just have a government efficiency commission that takes a look at these things. And
I think we should do good things instead of bad. What if we had a government department that
hard-earned money
that made us
spent in
spend
a good
less
way?
money?
And I'd be happy to help out on such a commission.
We're spending too much money. We need a
Well, you're the
money-saving
greatest
government
cutter.
department.
I mean, I look at what you do. You walk in and you just say,
That's true. He
"You
does
wanna
cut.
quit?"
Elon's cut
Strike.
costs
I won't
on
mention
Twitter,
the name of the company, but
and
they
we're
go on
seeing it.
strike. Now, Biden's, close to vegetable stage, in my opinion. Okay,
You're
I
not
looked at him today
running
on the
against
beach,
him
and I
anymore,
said,
man.
Why would anybody
Give it
allow
up.
him?
No, I mean, obviously, what's happening sort of overnight is they're rewriting history and making Kamala sound like a moderate when in fact she is far left, like far left.
Worse than Bernie
Far,
Sanders.
yeah, worse.
He is
Oh.
considered more
You heard it
liberal
here,
by
folks.
far than Bernie Sanders. And Biden, we don't even have to talk about it. I mean, he couldn't have this conversation. He would have given up on the first half of a question. He would have walked out. He would have said, "Where am I? Where am I going?" So anyway, but no, he wouldn't have this.
You know,
not a lot of people would
listen,
have this
all right.
conversation.
Not to give the
but,
devil
we
his
cover a
due,
lot
but
of
when
territory.
he's
But the beauty is that we can
when
have
he's
a
right,
conversation,
he's right.
and I hope you don't get nervous because you got a lot of people listening to you right now, like 60 million or something. What is that number? It's crazy. It's amazing how you can see that right away. How many? What is the number? Wow.
Don't look too closely at it.
What is it?
Well,
Wow.
I think in terms of people
that's bigger than you said. You said 25, and you're much more than double that number. 25
Oh my God,
million. I
he's
think you're
looking
gonna
at
be
the
60 or
views
70.
on the
And I
tweet,
guess over a
not the
period of time.
concurrent.
Hey,
Oh my God.
I congratulate you.
Yeah,
Do I
60
get paid
million
for this or
concurrent
not?
viewers, dude. Yeah, that's true.
I think actually in terms of the number of people that will hear this conversation,
No, just accept it. Just accept it. Yeah, fifth of the country is listening right now. It's fine.
That's what they say. Yeah, that's good. Well, look, it's an honor.
I'd just like to note to people listening, like I've not been very political before, and if you look at my record, I've actually been. I'm not like sometimes they try to paint me as like a far right guy, which is absurd because I'm like making electric vehicles and solar and batteries helping with the environment, and I actually I supported Obama. I stood in line for 6 hours to shake Obama's hand when he was running for president, and so it's not like I'm like some sort of dyed-in-the-wool long-term Republican. I'd call myself.
Remember, he joined the Republican Party to knock off some of the heat that he was getting when it turned out that he sexually harassed an employee and then offered her a $250,000 and a horse. And that is the actual reason he joined the GOP. He said, I'm joining the Republican Party, by the way, so if anyone says anything negative about me in the next few weeks, it's because of that.
They were let out, zero bail. And I think a bunch of them were given free tickets to California.
I need this to. I genuinely can't do this anymore. I need this to end.
That is a gross indignity.
I need this to end. Please, fucking God.
And if you just have empathy for the criminals, it's actually shallow empathy. It's not real. You're not thinking. You're one layer deep empathy.
We shouldn't only empathize with the criminals and not the victims.
Hurt, where they might kill someone.
Fucking God, dude!
I hope everybody's going to vote for Trump, and we're going to get this country straight. Yeah. And I didn't need this. I'm like, I didn't need this. I had a very nice life. I didn't need to go through court systems and go through all the other stuff and run at the same time. I have to run. I have to go through fake trials with, in some cases, corrupt judges, totally corrupt judges.
Please.
I didn't need it. I had a nice life. I have great locations. I have beautiful oceans that I have places. Beautiful
oceans.
But I felt it was important, and if I had to do it over again, you probably think I'm crazy for doing it.
Messiah complex, yes.
If I had to do it
Personal
over again,
sacrifice.
I would have done it over again because this is so much more important than me or my life. We're going to save this country.
He's
this
like
country
Jesus Christ.
Down.
Yep, he was sent by God to falter and sacrifice himself for your good. Yep.
So I appreciate it. I'll see you soon.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you, Elon. Thank you very much.
Thank God. Please, God, let me out. Are they doing a cap off or is it done? It's done to me. I'm closing the thing. I don't care whether it's doing a cap. Holy shit, that was I mean, Elon is such a charisma black hole that he actually managed to rob Trump of some charisma as well. Like Trump can work a crowd pretty well, but in that direct one-on-one, it was just like okay, here's my summary at the end. This was very boring. They didn't cover anything effectively that Trump doesn't cover in his regular speeches. I think this is a massive desperation move. As a consequence of it being super boring, this isn't going to reach anyone who wasn't already on board. Elon sounded like a fucking weak, cowardly dumbass the entire time. There was nothing new. There was nothing interesting. Donald Trump's decision to do the interview was interesting because it comes across as desperation to me. Normally, Donald Trump holds a grudge indefinitely. He's very petty, and he hates Elon Musk. So the fact that he would come on here and be chummy, the fact that Trump was willing to come back on Twitter for this interview and everything, my guess is, one, Trump is desperate and realizes that this is a much harder race to win now. Anyway, it was pathetic. I hated all of it. I was bored the entire time.